Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? So, welcome to lesson 14. Today's lesson is going to be on the topic of physical looks. So, we had a lesson around 2 lessons ago on the topic of personality, so describing somebody's personality and describing how somebody interacts with other people, whether they're introvert or extrovert, all those kinds of things. This lesson is going to be focused on physical, so the appearance, the way that somebody looks. So, let's get to it. The first word that is here is to bear a striking resemblance. Striking in general can be used whenever you're talking about a lot of different things, but the main thing is it's when you're talking about like something that is very clear, something that is very easy to see. And a striking resemblance, the word resemblance means similarity. So a very clear similarity. Striking resemblance means to look very similar to somebody, to look like, the same. Like you see the face and wow, that's the same face. It's almost the same person. That's what to bear a striking resemblance means. To bear means to have. In general, these 4 words together is like a very high lexical resource score because these are all academic great words. I recommend you to use this. This is not idiomatic language as far as I understand, but it's just academic language and a very strong collocation. This collocation is used very often in English. So if you can use this during your test, use it. It's a great phrase. Next is cropped hair. Cropped means like if you have a picture, for example, and you have like a big picture and you want to take a smaller picture out of the big picture, that's called crop. Cropped hair is like you have long hair and you make short hair out of the long hair. Yeah. Cropped means like very short. Yeah. I wouldn't really use this. Next is disheveled. I actually, what? Shahriar has untidy hair. Sorry. Disheveled hair means hair that is not hair that is not tidy. It's the opposite of tidy. Let me move that. Let me actually check the pronunciation to make sure that I'm saying this correctly. It's kind of funny that
disheveled.
Yeah, disheveled. Okay, perfect. Good thing I am not stupid. Yeah.
Disheveled.
Disheveled. Okay. Next is to be fair-skinned. So fair-skinned is whenever you're talking about like light skin, like this. This is fair skin. To be fair-skinned means to have white skin. Next is to get done up. This means to dress well, to look nice. Yeah. Yeah. Next is to go gray. You can use this to talk about your hair, mainly. Like, my hair is going gray right now. Yeah. Done up can actually be used more than just about clothes. You can use done up if you're talking about hair, for example, or you can talk about done up, like just in general, done up means to make it look nice. So an example of this would be, my hair is going gray. I have to get it done up so it looks better. That means to make it like colored or something like that. Next is to be good looking. So good looking in general can be used as an adjective. So you don't need to say to be, you can say he is good looking, she is good looking, and it means attractive, like looks good. Yeah, makes sense. Pretty or handsome or beautiful, it's kind of a synonym of all of them, except it is the same for both genders. So a woman can be good looking and a man can be good looking. Both are fine. To be hard of hearing. This means cannot hear, like deaf, like beep, 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 deaf. That's hard of hearing. Next is scruffy. Scruffy can be used about somebody. So you can say that somebody is dressed well, not well. They look strange, right? They are like wearing bad looking clothes. Or you can use it to talk about some kind of like some piece of clothing. For example, if you have a shirt that is like really old, you can call that a scruffy shirt. That's perfectly fine. Next, let's move on to the next day is to look young for their age. So this can be used whenever you're talking about some kind of person who is old but looks younger. So they look young for their age. Yeah, simple. Next is to lose your figure, and this is whenever you're talking about somebody who gets fat, somebody who got fat. They ate too much food and they lost their shape. They lost their figure, I guess. Yeah. All these words are pretty simple, but in general, it's important to learn the situations in which they can be used. After I'm done explaining all the vocab, I will give you an example sentence for each of these words. Yeah. Yeah. Complexion. This is basically your face, your skin tone, like everything here is called the complexion, like the way that you look. That is called a complexion. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. Yes. Next is makeup, cosmetics, the things that women put on their face. Yeah, simple, easy. I think that makes sense. Next is medium height. This is somebody who is like normal height. If somebody is tall, you can just say that they're tall. But if somebody's like not tall and they're not short, then they are medium height. Next is middle-aged. This is somebody from 45 to 65. Simple, easy. To never have a hair out of place. This is idiomatic language that is basically idiomatic language that is talking about somebody who is always stylish and always dressed well. This doesn't necessarily mean hair. It just means somebody who is always put together. They're always very well groomed. They have good clothes. They always look nice. They never have a hair. They never have a hair out of place. Yeah. Next is, sorry, my apologies, loading. Next is to be overweight. This is somebody who has more weight than is healthy. Like, you know, if you're a man, then it's like over 100 kilograms, I think, something like that. That's overweight. Next is a pointed face. There's two types of faces. One is like round, like a circle, and one is like long. That's a pointed face. Yeah. Shoulder length hair. This is hair that goes down here and not further. Makes sense. Shoulder length. Waist length. Like a lot of women in Uzbekistan, their hair goes down to like their legs. You know, it's like very long. That's like waist length hair, because your waist is like, I can't really show you, but it's like this part right here, like above your buttocks. You know, waist. It's above your back, basically, like at the bottom of your back. Okay, next is a slender or slim figure. This is basically talking about somebody who looks nice. They look thin. They have a good figure. Next is thick hair. This is somebody who has a lot of hair. Simple, easy. To wear glasses means glasses. Next is to be well built. This is somebody who is muscular, well built, specifically muscles, not just good figure. And lastly is youthful appearance. This is somebody who looks young. Youthful is a synonym of the word young, but you cannot say young appearance. You have to say youthful appearance. Youthful in general means like full of youth, full of being young. Yeah. So, yes. Let's get to it. To bear a striking resemblance means, I'm going to be using these words in sentences right now, so I'm just going to be giving you sentences for each of these. Not for every sentence, but for a couple sentences, like together. Yeah. I knew a guy in school who had very disheveled hair. Even though it was cropped, it was still very untidy. He actually bore a striking resemblance to a monkey, for example. I am fair-skinned. Simple, easy. My hair is going gray, and so in order to be good-looking, I have to get it done up. I have to color my hair. I'm hard of hearing. I can't hear anything. Next. I have another friend who is actually very old. They're about middle-aged, but they look very young for their age because all of their clothes are very scruffy. Usually old people like to wear a lot of makeup, and they never have hair out of place because they know how to dress well. Another one of my friends is medium height, and he used to be overweight because he lost his figure when he became a sumo wrestler. Next is, I used to have a very slender figure. But ever since I decided to be well built, I have lost that youthful appearance. And now I like to do boxing, for example. So hopefully you understand most of these words. These words are really simple. It's just, these are the same. It's kind of similar to the vocab about personality because it's very situational, especially if you're going to be talking about like a person, right? Sometimes your topic for part 2 is going to be like, describe your neighbor. Like, it's good to know how you can describe their personality and the way they look. So all of these words are also great. They're not going to be used every single time you have your IELTS, but they are still very good to know. Perfect. Let's get on to some example questions. So if you have some questions on the topic of a person, right, like people, you can ask them right now. Part 1 and part 3. So think about those questions. I'm going to give you 20 seconds to think about that, and then we can start. Yeah. Beep beep boop beep beep boop bop. So let's get to it. Please raise your hand if you have a question. Part 1 or part 3 on the topic of people, specifically like describing people. Okay, Zarina Samidinova, I already asked you, but I'm going to ask you again because I think you have a good question on the topic of people.
Okay, how older people can be well dressed up? I mean, okay, I made up this question. How older people can be, good looking?
Okay, is this a part 3 question?
Yeah.
Okay, let me rephrase that question a little bit to make it more fitting. What can older people do to look better in their old age? For example, okay?
Yeah, I was going to say this. Yeah.
Okay. So here is my answer. Honestly, I think that a lot of older people, they don't really have a problem with their old age. I believe that it's really about not losing your figure. I think that a lot of older people stop doing any kind of exercises, and in order to look good in your old age, you have to exercise very well. Actually, it's been proven that if you put on a lot of weight, your complexion changes. And for example, if you have a beautiful pointed face, it turns into a round face after gaining weight. Especially if you're old and overweight at the same time, that can really make you look very scruffy. And, keep your hair tidy. I think old people sometimes don't take care of their hair. So I think that if older people take care of their hair and they do exercises, that will keep them looking good for the rest of their lives. Oh, that was sad. Sorry. Yeah. Bruh. It's like the joke. If I have enough money to live comfortably for the rest of my life, if I die on Wednesday. Sorry. Okay, thank you so much for your question. Okay, if somebody else has a part 1 or part 3 question on the topic of describing people, you can ask me right now. Please raise your hand so I know that you have a question. Ibrahim, if you have a question, please unmute yourself and say hello.
Hi.
Ibrahim. Yo, do you have a part 1 or part 3 question?
Well, it's actually part 3 question, if I'm not mistaken, right now.
Okay.
And, well, have you ever gone the entire day without noticing anything wrong in your appearance?
I can say that in general, I'm quite keen on getting done up. I like to look good. I like to be, I like to look stylish. But mainly this pertains to my hair. I hate having disheveled hair because I have long hair. I need to take care of it very well. But in terms of my clothes, very often I forget what my clothes are looking like. Sometimes I look at myself in a picture and I don't realize what I'm wearing. And it has actually been several times in my life that I have missed some kind of dirt or stain on my shirt, like a business shirt. I will be looking at pictures later and I will see a piece of ketchup in the middle of the picture because I cannot take care of my clothes very well. So I would say that, yeah, the main thing is, as much as I never have a hair out of place in terms of my hairstyle, my shirts suffer a lot. Thank you. Good question.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Do you have a part 1 question, maybe?
Well, actually, I had, if I'm not mistaken. Well, what kind of things do you do to improve your appearance?
Perfect. That's a great question. I think that the best way to improve your appearance for me would be to have a youthful appearance. It's been proven that younger people and in general the idea of youth makes people look good. And so I really like to look young. I like to wear clothes that are stylish. If I was a woman, I would probably do makeup, but I don't actually like makeup because I'm not a woman. And so because of that, mainly I keep my face clean. I wash my face 2 times a day. And I like to wear comfortable, nice clothes, especially new clothes. They keep me looking fresh and looking good. Thank you.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ibrahim. So yeah, that's it for the vocab for this section and the questions. This vocab is pretty simple. As I said, it's very situational. So the same with the vocab about personality, they kind of go together. If you have a topic about people, bang, you have a lot of words you can use. But otherwise, these words are kind of difficult to use. It's not like technology where you can put this into every single topic. Only if the question is about people, most of the time you can talk about people. Another thing is to bear a striking resemblance, which I'm going to underline because this is a great phrase. Learn this phrase. This phrase can be used for a lot of different topics. It doesn't just have to be about people. I'm just going to say that. So yeah, that's it for the vocab lesson for today. Let's move on to the lesson, which is missing letters in pronunciation. So what this is letters that we don't say. We also call them silent letters. Yeah, let's get to it. I'm going to explain to you how these rules are formed and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, give me 1 second. Okay, my apologies. Let's get to it. Yes, the first thing is the silent K. As you guys know, the word no, we don't say it as kno, we say it as no. The difference is the word this one, we say it as now, right? So we don't call this no, we call this now. There's a difference in pronunciation. We yeah. We hear this word as very strong. It's hard sounding, as it says here. So, for example, the word back, the k is very strong. But whenever there is an n at the start of the word, it's silent. For example, the word no. Yeah. So here are some examples: knock, knack, knapsack, knickers, and knuckle. That's it. And actually, it doesn't change the pronunciation of the n. So, for example, like knock would still be the same. Knock. It's the same type of n. It's just it's added, I think, as an archaism. So yeah, basically, if you see a kn, the k is not pronounced. We never say knock. Also, the word knight. This one. Knight is like a person in armor, like from the medieval period. Next is the silent p. So if there is an s after the letter p, if it's ps, most of the time we do not say the p. So we never say psychology, we never say psyche, we always say psyche. The p is silent, 100%. So psychology, psychiatry, psyche, psychological, no, all these. If there is a p after an s, like a ps, 90% of the time is going to be medical. Because actually, this is an interesting story. PS and sometimes even Y, like PS together, they come from a Greek letter. And so whenever we have all these words, like for example, pneumonia, P-N-E, pneumonia, it's a medical word. And those kinds of words they come from other languages, specifically usually from Greek. Yeah, cool information. Next is the silent C. C can have different sounds. You can have CH. Sometimes you can have it sound like an S, all these different things. But if you have an SC, like this, SC, we do not say the C. The C is silent. So for example, the word scent by itself. You don't say scent, like skent. You just say S. It makes the S a little bit longer. So these words are like ascend, scenario, scented, incandescent. The S just becomes longer. Or for example, the word muscle, we do not say muscle, we say muscle. two S's. It's like a longer S, basically. So that's another like rule that always happens. And the last one is the silent G. So this one is if there's a G, I think it's GN. Yeah, we never say the G. So for example, this, we do not say gnome, we say gnome. We do not say design, we say design. And also the word sign. So GN, always the G is silent. That's it. Oh, also foreign. We never say foreign. 100% mistake. Never say foreign, always say foreign. The G is silent. That's it. Simple. So all these rules are really simple. Let's go through the pronunciation of all these words. I like all these rules because they are 100%. There's a lot of pronunciation rules in English that are not 100%, but all of these, if you see these combinations, like the KN, you know the K will be silent. So let's get to it. Let's say all of the words in black one by one. We will say them all one time. So I will say them, then you repeat them. Let's do it. Knock, knack, knapsack, knickers, knuckle, night. Psychology, psychiatry. Let's say that again. Psychology, psychiatry, psyche, psychological, psychotic, pseudo. Next, muscle, ascend, ascent, fascinate, fluorescent, incandescent, obscene, scene, scenario, scented, gnome, benign, malign, design. I actually don't know how to say this word. Dine? I'm going to Google that because I do not give false information. I have to make sure. It could actually be a mistake. Pronunciation. I assume it's probably dine. Yeah, let's check.
Dane.
Dane. Okay, there we go. See, I got to make sure. Dane. Yeah, Dane. Nash. Sign. Foreign. So simple, easy. Don't make these mistakes. These are the most simple and like dumb mistakes you can make. Don't make them. Perfect. So we're done with that. Let's get to the feedback section for today's lesson. Let me scroll up to the vocab so that you guys can use the vocab. Yeah. Beep, beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, bop. Beep, 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 boop, bop. Today we have, okay, first of all, people from the, okay, people from last lesson. Farukh Muhayo, Asladin Begim Kulov, Sevara Ergasheva, and Farangiz from Karshi. If you have joined, please raise your hand so I can see you. There's like 5 people that aren't here today. God damn it. Nah. Okay, you're not here. They're sleeping. I don't care. Whatever. Feruza Lutfulayeva. Please raise your hand so I know that you can hear me. Feruza Lutfulayeva. Dilrabo Bobojonova. Please raise your hand so I know that you can hear me. Okay, next person is going to be... Oh, is this you, Asladin Begim Kulov? Asladin, is that you? Interesting. Okay, next person is Nilufar Nasreddinova. Please raise your hand so I know that you can hear me. Nilufar Nasreddinova. Okay. Nilufar Nasreddinova. Please say hi so I know that you can hear me.
Hi, I'm hearing you. Can you
Yo,
hear me?
awesome. Yes, I can. Okay. 1 moment. Sorry, one second.
Okay.
Okay, so would you like a part 1 or part 3?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, let me ask you a part 3. Here's your question. Is it important to dress well whenever we go out?
Well, it's very vital for everybody to look good in whenever situations whenever they go or whatever they do. They should be very look nice in terms of both clothing and appearance. So we have a lot of situations except going out, but I would say that everyone should be should be should be should be should wear should wear different kinds of things, but they should be appropriate and they can fit their work or studies. Maybe when they go to the school, they should wear some kind of their required uniform, or when somebody goes or planning to work, they should wear their official work. And
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, so first of all, that answer was a little bit too long, and let me tell you why. You have the same problem several times of like repeating what you're saying. Like, first of all, you use great structures. Whatever they do in terms of except going out, and like great structures, like really nice, and you didn't make too many grammar mistakes at the beginning. But then somewhere in the middle of your answer, you just started repeating like they should be, they should wear, they should, and like repeating. So here's one thing that I'd recommend you to do. Instead of repeating the same verb, right? You're like, you don't know what you're going to say after that. You're thinking. Instead of repeating the same verb over and over, repeat the whole sentence. So start from the beginning, and that gives you more time to think, and you are still speaking. So you would say something like, I think that they should, in order to I think that they should, you're pausing, so you think, oh, I'm pausing, okay. And then you repeat, I think that in order to I think that they should, and this gives you more time to think, and it's perfectly fine to repeat the whole sentence. That's perfectly fine. It's just, if you're repeating the same word like 5 times, that's much worse than repeating the same sentence 1 time. So here's a bit of a tip. Whenever you have your self-correction, right, try to make it as organic and natural as possible, and it's much more natural to repeat the sentence completely from the beginning rather than repeating the same word over and over. So try not to do that. Great job with vocab and all that kind of stuff. Keep that the same way, but try to work on your repetition and like correcting yourself. Yeah, okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to the next person. The next person is going to be... Sorry. Zafarbek Faizullayev. Zafarbek Faizullayev. Please say hi so I know that you can hear me. Yo, what's up? So please, I have unmuted you. Please unmute yourself and say hello.
Hello.
Would you like a part 1 or a part 3?
I would like part 1.
Okay, here's your question. Do you look like any other people in your family?
To tell the truth, I'm similar to my father, because our characters are similar. For example, our behave or that's all.
Okay.
I had no
You have
idea.
good structures. So listen. You have good structures and you have good pronunciation. Like, you're actually doing great, but it's not about ideas. It's about just speaking. I think you need to relax a little bit, have a little bit more confidence in yourself. You didn't make any mistakes. You're doing great in terms of your English, but where are the words? Where's the things that you could say? So I don't know what is your relationship between, your father and you. I don't know how you're similar, but one thing that you could say, for example, you could say, my father and I are very similar. We have the same complexion, so the same face. We have very similar skin, and I like to look like him because I respect him. My father actually looks young for his age, so it's very easy for people to think that we are brothers. For example, I don't know. I don't know what is the relationship. That is an example, something that you could talk about. Just say more things. That's it. I would say that would make your answer better, but everything that you said was fine. Just try to speak more. Thank you, Zafarbek.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. The next person is going to be Asluddin Begim Kulov. You were not here during the last lesson. I have unmuted you. Please say hi. Asluddin Begim Kulov. Asluddin Begim Kulov.
Hello, hi.
What's up? Give me 1 second. Okay. Would you like a part 1 or part 3?
Bro, can I take it next time? I mean, next lesson, because no, my phone gonna die. I mean, battery. Yeah, that's way.
Okay. Next lesson, you need to be here. You need to get your feedback, okay?
Yes. Okay.
Make sure to be prepared, please. Thank you. Okay. Boop and boop. Okay. Okay, perfect. So the next person is going to be Imran Abdurafikov. Imran Abdurafikov, please say hi so I know that you can hear me. Imran Abdurafikov. Okay, I don't think he's here. Okay. Here, let's do this. I'm going to unmute you. Wait, did I? Oh, I did. Okay. Ibrahim John and Muhabbat Khan Ganieva, please raise your hands. Ibrahim John, I can see you. Muhabbat Khan Ganieva, please raise your hand. Muhabbat Khan Ganieva. Okay, I don't think she's here. What's up? You have waited all this time. Finally, your feedback has come. Are you ready?
Yes, sure.
Woo! Good job. That's great. Okay, so would you like a part 1 or part 3?
Part 3, better.
Good. Here's your question. Do people worry too much about losing their appearance as they get older?
Well, I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, people nowadays are worrying about their appearance when they're getting older, because they know about when they getting older, they lose own complexion, their own skins, or the feature of their skin. So just an example of the father, when I asked him about his getting older, he asked me, I'm not worried about this. So yeah, that's why I think they don't have any problems with this.
Okay, give me 1 second. Here are your biggest problems, or I think the things that you should work on. Great vocab, great job using the vocab from the lesson. That was awesome. But here's the thing that I think you should work on is your intonation. So whenever you started talking about your personal example, I heard that and I logically understood. And I mean, you said the word, an example from my father, but I didn't clearly understand because you didn't intonate it right. So the way that you should have said it is, for example, you should have said something like, I actually asked this question from my father. And then the words actually and father are the most important in the sentence. And I clearly understand because those are the important things. You're asking from your father. The question from your father. Question, father. Bang, bang. The most important words in the sentence. The way you said it, I didn't clearly understand. And then after that, you should have spoken a little bit slower. So work a little bit on where you're speaking quickly and where you're speaking slowly because that's not very clear. The intonation at the end of the sentence was also a little bit strange. Like your intonation was, the things that you were saying just finished. That's not how it should work. You should like be speaking, and then clearly I understand where the sentence finishes. That's better. So yeah, I would say great job with the personal example. That's really nice, including that. You made one mistake. You said their skins, like in plural, skins. That illogical, but then you actually corrected yourself. So you said the features of their skin, which is great. Awesome. Good job. Correcting yourself is like a very good symbol of like understanding what you're actually saying, which is good. Try to speak a bit slower, relax a little bit. Maybe it's your first time getting the feedback, so that's why you're stressed, but great job. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Ramazan.
Thank you very
Work
much.
on your intonation. Have a great day. Okay, and lastly, the last person is going to be Muhabbat Ganieva. Please raise your hand if you can hear me. Muhabbat Ganieva. I don't think she's here. Probably not. Okay, so let's go through this one more time. The people from today's lessons who should have gotten their feedback, but they're not here. Dior Asarov, Alim John, Farukh, Muhayya, Savara Ergasheva, Farangis from Karshi, Firuza Lutfulayeva, Dilrabo Babajanova, Imran Abdurafikov. If you are here, please raise your hands. All of these people. I do not see any of them, so I think that is going to be the end of today's lesson. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for joining both lessons. The homework for this lesson is going to be sent into the group soon. Remember to do it for the next lesson. Have a great day, everybody, and thank you so much for joining once again. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you, guys. See you.